I should have turned this on a few minutes ago. I'm gonna, I don't need to use the friggin'. I'm here screwing around with this camera because I could be. It's easier to know where to look with this camera, whereas with this one, I had to intentionally look here when the screen is over this way. I remember I could turn the phone around the other direction, but that makes too much sense for the likes of me. I said I there, didn't I? What I'm doing here is changing over the fixtures so I can put this camera into this seat and then talk to this camera instead. And I only have one coin for this operation. I shall show it for posterity's sake in a second. This one seats really good on me. I like this. Indoor work. I've been screwing around a lot with what I'm using. So here it is. I've showed this in other videos, but it's a mic stand, which is a bit of counterweight added to the back. I'm going to change this from water in a cloth bag because it wobbles quite a bit. If that was seated weight all the way around, like if it was tied on like a weight belt, it wouldn't move very much at all. It would be really stable. So here is the Gorilla Pod being pressed in the service tonight so that I can hold the camera steady at a certain angle with a minimum of effort and at a certain distance to be able to talk. And I'm going to use the audio track that I'm currently recording. Okay, I got to read something, so I want to know where to look while I'm reading. I'm going to reproduce something. This is on, right? Yeah. It is on. So I can hold it real steady with a minimum of effort. Check it's recording. I'm going to put that up. This is going to take a little while to read. I wonder how steady I can hold this. So, a reading. And this is from something I wrote and it was in 2011. This is called a short reading from it called Gravitas. And it doesn't need any other introduction than that. Over in the corner of the lab, a single computer system was humming within a 3/4 spherical enclosure. Itself brilliant white on the inside, it was about 3 meters across and fabricated from fiberglass. Fabricated. There were 2 LCD projectors mounted on the outside to project within the sphere. Basics first, Rube. Our sphere here is a simulated 3D environment. A holodeck, if you will. But you have to stay seated on the inside or it busts the illusion. Yes, I see. Something like IMAX. A little. Very little comparatively. Since we have to project this information we're computing, anyway, I thought a nice demonstration tool might come in handy. Hang on, Arch. Those two were arguing over the system crashing. Does this work? Oh, yes, this is merely a toy. Proof of concept. It has a bare bones library. I mean it when I say bare minimums for our purposes. It can only show a single gravity well at a time. The user can select which body is referenced from the drop-down menu, meaning via a mouse on the computer terminal, or by gesture. And this was most impressive. He used his finger to virtually touch a gravitating body, the Earth's moon. Immediately, the moon was enveloped by a wireframe representation of a gravity well, but it took several moments for me to make sense of what I was seeing properly. Oh, hang on. I get it. This is a sphere of influence, I asked, indicated the outer edge of the wireframe. Exactly. Now, would you care to tell me how it works? Can I play a little first, Arch? I said, eager to try out the experience. I'm in low Earth orbit, yes? Yeah, you sure are. Monitor displays your instruments and 2 multifunction displays, MFDs. I gotta skip this down a little bit. So I'm orbiting at 250 clicks above the planet's surface. How can I burn for the moon? We've pre-programmed common routes. Under the drop-down menus again. Transfers. I'm starting to get the hang of it. Lunar free return. Sweet. You can also time skip. Same as Orbiter. Oh, he knows Orbiter, hollered Larry, curious. Sure do. Oh, you're going to love this, he replied. I turned the simulation rate up to 10 times normal speed. 10 seconds for every second of real time. Larry rolled from his terminal using a chair as a means of translation. You can reorient your spacecraft in the same manner as with Orbiter. Prograde, retrograde, normal, anti-normal. Just select the appropriate autopilot. And again, choice of using a mouse or one's hand. I finally spotted 3 holes inside the sphere where webcams were mounted. And you can use the joystick here to rotate. No translation thrusters yet. Twist for roll, not yaw. A burn counter was quickly ticking down towards 0 at a time rate... Ooh, I lost the spot. A burn counter was quickly ticking down towards 0 with the time acceleration. I tapped prograde, which oriented the nose of the ship towards my velocity vector, marked by a familiar meatball on the sphere's wall. Then I rolled the ship over on to the right, putting the Earth up and below the nose. Putting the Earth below the nose. On one view of the MFDs, the moon was displayed passing behind the Earth from my point of view to give a graphical representation of the countdown. Once the counter hit 0, the HUD of the sphere wall showed a flashing burn indicator. Ooh. Let's just go down a little. Showed a flashing burn indicator, and then the other MFD automatically switched to an overhead view of the Earth, with my orbital trajectory as it increased. As it updated, it eventually reached the moon, or more precisely, where the moon would be, and curved to show the figure 8 of a free return. Larry stayed next to me. I could feel his eagerness to wrestle controls from the newbie, just like a backseat driver. And then again, he knew this particular simulator better than I did. Up the sim rate to 1,000 times or we'll be here for days, he suggested. Aye, Captain, I said in my best Chekhov faux Russian. Sulu had the conrube. Oh, but Sulu is gay! Oh, please, says Larry. You should learn to separate the character from the actor. Here ends the reading. Wrote it in 2011. You had the con. People talking in the background is something I'm listening to. Oh yeah, the coin. $10p. Lackluster flip of the coin there. Try another one. Here you go.